Hey everybody, Rock DIY here. I had done a previous video in which I had shown that I put an attachment on the back of my table saw that's on my table saw and flip table from the miter saw. And these are the pieces that it consisted of. These four pieces here. So this piece right here went on the table saw like that, and as you can see, as tight as it is, that's the reason why I put the attachment on there. And then so this piece goes on and it's offset because it'll hit 2x4 here, so this goes in here like that, and then these would go on here. So that one would go there, and then this one would go here, and then they would be screwed into the 2x4 with 4 screws. And then all I'd have to do is take my dust collection hose, put it right there, and I'm good to go. Don't have to worry about reaching down in there. Someone made a point to say, well, if you do that, the issue you're going to have is that when you go to do a bevel cut, you won't be able to. So this is where you would make your adjustments for the bevel cut. The only problem is with that attachment, I can't do a bevel cut. So it'd have to come off anytime I did a bevel cut, because this portion of it would be somewhat permanent and it would keep it stationary. So I had to come up with a way to get around this, which I did. And again, the way I got around this was using a 3D print. Now, this offset piece is out of the equation. This elbow is still being used. These two pieces are no longer being used. And now, what's being used that does allow me to do a bevel cut, what I have is 12-inch flexible tube. Still got the elbow, so the elbow will go on. So the way that this would work is this part will go back onto the table saw as it was before. Then you got the flexible tubing, and then now this piece here goes on, and then these two parts right here would be screwed onto the 2x4s. Screwed onto the 2x4s right here. And the nice thing about this is with this flexible tubing, it allows the table saw to be adjusted for a bevel cut. Not only is this flexible, but this also moves freely, so that when you move the table saw, it doesn't bind up. And these were made with the 3D printer. The entire piece was made as one. There were some support pieces that were built along the way, but these are permanent. They're part of it, and all I had to do was break it up a little bit with the support pieces that kept it in place, and now they're just a permanent part of this and will not come off so easily. I can put 4 screws on this side, 4 screws on this side, and that's going to be the next thing. I'll put it on and show how it works. Here is the piece fully assembled. I just glued the insides of these so that it would stay together. This part right here will not be permanently affixed. It'll stay like it is, and then this side will have the screws on it. So it can still be removed if it needs to be removed. So that is what it looks like, and when I glued it together, I had to make sure that this lines up with the port on the table saw, and then these were straight across on this side here, otherwise it would have been off. So here we go, first test. I've got it in place. You can see it's attached to the port on the back of the table saw, and I've got it screwed in here, and you can see that it can rotate. So now what I'm going to do is bevel the saw blade, and you'll see how it works. And it's at 45. You see how the hose is bent, but it works. Having the ability for this to pivot is important, because if this wasn't pivoting, the hose wouldn't be able to do what it's doing. That is the new attachment for the table saw that allows me to do bevel cuts.